I'm gonna bridge like I want to make him do a face plant. Grab an arm. Once I have control of an arm, I'm gonna control the leg on the same side. Again, during this, my hips don't come back to the mat. If they come back down, and then I grab his leg, this is a lot harder to do because he's resettled his weight. But once I get him here where his weight is forward and off of his legs a little bit, I want to keep him like that so that when I step over, I only have to move this lighter part of him. So we're here. Really important when you do this that you bridge your hips up high, especially if your partner is a lot bigger than you. If they're bigger than you and you just kind of like half bridge, you're not going to move them. The higher you bridge, the more their weight goes forward and off of your hips so that you can easily turn them over. The closer my feet are to my hips here, the bigger I can bridge. If my feet are out here and I try to bridge, not very effective. They're all the way in here, much more effective. Scoop an arm, same side leg. Make sure you're doing them arm and leg on the same side. If I forget and do opposite and try to step over, then better be a good partner and let me know by not letting me do it. So we're here, step over and come in. I'm blocking his biceps here, keeping my elbows in tight, keeping my head low, so that from here, he doesn't really have an easy way to set up a sweep or a submission without having to fight a little bit. And then that gives me a moment to set up my position. So sometimes you might try to do this one and it just doesn't quite work. I'm not able to get him to move as much as I need him to be able to capture an arm and really get my hips up enough to bridge him over. As long as I can get my hips up a little bit, I can pop them up and try to get it on my side. From here, I'm going to use my bottom elbow. You can move if you need to. My bottom elbow's over here. I'm going to use my bottom elbow against the inside of his knee to make a frame. Right now, I'm going to keep my top arm in kind of closer because I don't want to frame quite yet because that's just going to feed an arm bar, and that's not great for me. So we're here. Yeah, don't just give Zed arm bars. We're here, framing on his bottom knee. From here, I want my bottom knee is going to be on the mat. If anything, I tend to turn my heel up like this so that my kneecap is against the mat rather than just the side of my knee. That makes a little bit more of a wedge to make it easier to bring my knee up to my elbow. So I'm going to use my leg and my elbow to try to bring them together so I can get my leg out here. Once I get my leg out, I'm going to turn hard onto my other side, swinging this leg into him. And then I create a frame with my top arm so he can't just flatten me out. I don't want this. So I want to be here so that if he tries to flatten me out, he has to drive into my forearm and it sucks. My other arm is here blocking for this so that he can't just cross face me. I want to be ready to catch this. Now I'm going to do basically the same thing. I'm going to bring my bottom knee through. Usually if they're paying attention, they only let you get like this far and then they bring that knee in nice and tight where my foot gets trapped. That's fine. I'm just going to turn back to the first side and I'm going to windshield wiper my foot out and wrap up for guard. About these two escapes is that they work really well together. Say I try to bridge him and I get him forward a little bit, again, just like we were doing. Maybe I can't get the bridge and roll, but it gives me enough space to get on my side and work my hip escape. Or maybe I'm trying to do my hip escape and just the way that he's defending, I feel his weight getting more heavy on my hips. So now I can bridge him up better and do my bridge and roll. Typically, if one of them doesn't work, you can switch to the other one, and oftentimes it'll work. And you can switch back and forth between them. They work really well together. as you're trying to escape.
So the back, when I have Taylor's back, this is what it refers to, right? This is like a traditional back take right here. Taylor's back facing me. He can't really see what I'm doing, right? I can like whisper like sweet nothings into his ear. You know, from a self-defense perspective, this is really good because he obviously can't see me. He can't really punch or kick me, right? And I got the choke, all right? And a wet willy, which is also super important in street fights. But let's talk about some key basics of retaining the back, all right? So there's this thing like, it's like diagonal control or cross control, all right? So if I have one hook on Taylor's right side with the under his arm, and I have one hook with the leg, and I don't have anything on this side, if Taylor turns to his left, cool, he's not going anywhere. Taylor turns to his right, fucked up, all right? How do I prevent that? A key tenet of having back control is having a hook on either side, right? So if I have an underhook, if I'm hooking under Taylor's arm on this side, then I want to make sure that my opposite leg is also hooking, right? Now when Taylor turns to his left, I'm on. Taylor turns to his right, I'm still on, right? So whenever you guys have the back, make sure that you have opposite side hooks. He does Zumba, boom, he grabs the arm, all right? But this time, let's say he forgets to isolate or trap my leg, all right? So he goes for that bump, and as he goes for that bump, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift my weight, all right? Now if you notice, my knee has come by his head, all right? And I shifted my weight a little bit to this side, so as he bumped that way, our center lines kind of moved, and I shifted my weight and I came to his back, which is what I want, all right? So I'm here, this hand is gonna go under his head, all right? This one, I wanna go under his arm, all right? So you can do this. This is a solid grip, but what I prefer to do is I'll actually grab the arm here, all right? And I'll have like my little Kimura grip, all right? Because this way, I also have gift wrap, gift that keeps on giving. So initially, what I'm doing is my leg is flaring out to prevent Taylor from turning back into me. If he tries to turn back into me, I can use my leg as a kickstand, all right? But what I want to do is I want to windshield wiper my leg, and I want my knee is going to stay in place. My shin is going to go parallel with his back, all right? So I'm here, boom, get that good kick, all right? Make sure Taylor feels it. And then what I like to do is I really struggle with taking it back, so I exaggerate this movement. What I'll do is I'll just roll to the other side. So roll, this leg is free, and I'm here, all right? It's kind of like a half back kind of deal, almost a body triangle. You want to talk about body triangle, talk about this guy. Definitely pass gas multiple times. It's embarrassing. Hey! Yeah, that's two, man. Alright. So now I'm here, alright? Notice, I don't have my hook, my hook on this side, right? But because my leg is across his body, it kind of acts as a hook. But when I'm ready, I adjust and I just slide this here. Now I have Taylor's back. Now I can whisper in his ear, okay? This is what I want. So yeah, let's do that again. So I know that's a lot of steps, and this movement is actually for the person on top who's got the mount. So yeah. So I'm here, boom. He bridges, he's here, and the second he goes for that U-turn, I shift my weight, all right? Now this is also known as like combat mount. So yeah, so I'm here. If I can grab the arm, I can. And if I can circle my arm around his head, I will do that, all right? But a lot of times, like in this specific context, it's not gonna work, right? So instead, I just come here. I don't even need to grab his arm, right? I can just grab it on the tail end. Actually, that's what I usually do. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, so we're here, right? I'm here, I'm tight over here. This foot is working as a kickstand. And another key detail is my chest. My chest is behind Taylor's scapula. If I'm all the way up here, first off, I'm off balance, but if he turns into me, right, he's got it all day. Even if I have that kickstand. Because my chest is acting as a frame. So I'm super low. My head's right by him. My chin, I'm digging it into the shoulder, all right? just so he knows that I'm here, okay? So now I'm here, and when I'm ready, I'm gonna windshield wiper my leg, boom, bring it parallel to his back. I'm gonna sit back. So I'm here, and there we go, okay. Now I'm here, connect my feet, and then when I'm ready, I can slide my hook in, all right? Now, you guys will have to figure out this position. Sometimes you guys will land a little bit awkwardly, but just like scoot around, scoot your hips, you know, and just figure out, like get comfortable and figure out where you need to be to control your opponent, all right? We got Taylor's back, all right? So, as you guys know, there's obviously the rear naked choke, right? Where I come in and I stab Taylor in the chest, I bring my arm up, grab back of the shoulder, feed my arm through, bring this arm back his head, and then I just expand my back, flex my back, like I'm doing both legs. But we're in the gi today, so let's do some gi shit, alright? Now, what I really like about this choke is bow and arrow. My ancestors used to use bow and arrow. Anyways, okay. So I'm here, right? I said that. Anyway, so I have the rear naked choke, that's always an option, right? But say like Taylor's keeping his chin tucked, he's like kind of defending, right? And I'm like, ooh, I really don't like the feel of this. So then what I'm gonna do is, because I have one arm under Taylor's arm, because I have that opposite side control, I'm gonna flare open, all right? Flare it open, all right? Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring my thumb in, all right? And I grab here. This elbow is gonna go to my back pocket over here. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna switch my legs. So this leg comes to this hip, and this leg comes across here. This hand is gonna come, and I like to grab the gi pant. You can underhook the leg, but Taylor's got real fucking meaty thighs, so it's kind of hard, okay? It's a compliment, all right? So I'm here, and I'm just gonna grab by the knee, all right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my body completely perpendicular to Taylor's, and this leg is I'm gonna throw it over his shoulder. I'm here, boom, all right? Now to finish this choke, I'm gonna basically extend my hips, and I'm gonna bring my elbow into my pocket. It's a bow and arrow choke, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, okay. Right, so he does it, and I let him do that, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm here. How do I prevent him from moving past this position, right? Knee pinch. Super important to have my knees pinched, right? If I'm super loose, he can turn into me, right? And he's escaping, right? But I'm like, oh, I don't want that. So I'll do whatever I can. Sometimes I will kickstand right here if I want to. So I'll bring my knee in. Let's do that move again. So I'm here. What I'll do is I'll prop up my, sorry about that. My knee will come in at an angle. And this, I'll do this if my chest is not at his shoulders. Because if I lower my chest, that's gonna be my active frame. But right now, this is my active frame. So if Taylor tries to turn into me, it's a little bit more difficult. He most certainly can, but it will allow me to it'll give me some time. I'm here, it'll allow me to shut down and then get my chest in. My chest is definitely a better frame, okay? So I'm here, boom. This hand under Taylor's neck, this one goes under his arm. If I can grab his arm, I'll do it. If I can't, it's fine. I'm shifting my hips. My knee goes back into his back. Windshield wiper the leg. Tight. I'm here. On Thursday, a lot of you guys had problems hitting that roll, and it was because this position was not tight. So he gets that leg here. Oh, that's actually a really good detail. So sometimes like if Taylor's really good with this, and especially because Taylor's got long ass legs, my knee is below his hip. My knee is below his hips. Yeah. So right here, what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna stay low. I'm gonna keep my elbow in my hip because I'm not trying to expose my arm. But I'm gonna tap his knee and I'm gonna bring my knee back through. All right. Super key detail. Super good for movement. Okay. So I'm here now. And my chest is already low. This hand by his neck. This one under his arm. I grab my hands and I exaggerate the roll and I go all the way to my other side. So my knee goes to his back, windshield wiper, and I'm keeping him super tight to my chest. You see, if I keep him loose and I do this, this doesn't work. This isn't jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? So, go back. Yeah, Blazers. Thanks, Carl. See, Carl remembered? That means the analogy is good, you fuckers. Okay, anyways. So here, I'm super tight. So when I roll, he's moving with me. Boom. And I pop that plate in, and I'm here. Depending on where the arm is, if the arm is low, I'm gonna bring this arm that's on the choking side, it's gonna grab here, and this I'm gonna make like a C grip. I'm gonna grip right here, and I'm gonna kind of lock off my elbow, all right? And that allows me to keep this down. If his grip is higher up, like he's choking me, then I obviously have to come here, all right? And that's obviously gonna be even more difficult because I have to fight the choking. But if I'm here, boom. I'm gonna turn to the side that's not on the pillow of death. Cool. I come here, turn to this side. My elbows, I'm trying to keep as tight to me as possible. It's a little bit hard because I'm using this as the lock off, but I'm gonna do my best. This one for sure is gonna be inside, and it's gonna be inside of his knee, all right? So I'm here, straighten this leg out, and when I do that, I'm gonna actually try to like pop my hip a little bit that way, right? Like if I can. So I'm here, boom, and that allows me to create that space to bring this leg over his leg. As I do that, I'm gonna like heel pull, scoot my leg, get my back on the mat, and I'm gonna use that inside elbow that I had initially over here as a frame, all right? And now I'm here, I can get back to my guard. One more time. So let's start with frames. Chin down, no credit card, all right? Frame here, shuck my butt low. That's also super key. If I can like scoot my weight low, I should do that, especially in this context right now, all right? So I'm here, this elbow is tight. I can keep this elbow tight to me if I can. Turn to my side, straighten out my leg, bring my leg over, scoot my hips over, use my frame, and recover some kind of open guard. Just want to show this. I didn't talk about it enough, but okay. Sorry. So this elbow, it's here, all right? And this is the elbow that I'm using to prevent him initially from trying to come to mount before I get in a stronger frame. So I'm here, boom, this way, just keep an eye on this elbow, flatten this leg out. So right here, I scoot, and this is here. This arm is here. And I keep scooting, get my back on the mat. I'm here, and by this point, I can use my legs. Like my chest needs to be like if my nipples had like laser beams on them, they should be going through like his nipples. You know what I'm saying? It's like a super weird analogy, but like it's honestly like I'm like straight on his back, okay?
Not good enough.
So I just actually thought about it. It's kind of cool. So let's do it one more time.
It's his Halloween costume.
I totally just made it up.
It literally doesn't even get to the point you were trying to make.
Yeah, lasers are cool. Seriously, you guys aren't fans of lasers? Well, it's because I thought about Superman for a second because of Halloween, and then I was like, dude, lasers. Okay, anyway. So Taylor's hitting the mountainscape, all right? Boom.